All right, welcome to Jack Dodson's Racing Insider News this week. We have a special guest here today, Jack.
Well, no, it's unusual to have her come in.
Henry.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, right. All right, let's thank our marketing partners. Let's thank GAC, Great American Company. Papa John's, better ingredients, better pizza. Jack never gets tired of Papa John's. Adam loves it, right? Is that lunch tomorrow?
Pizza choice, yeah.
Now the girlfriend told me you eat it at night when you get back to the house.
Sometimes at night, sometimes next day.
MPM Marketing with Tanya McAllister. Bonders Brothers Distillery. I think Langley Speedway for making this place our home. Really appreciate Chuck, Terry, and Bill. Pepsi, Mountain Dew is mine and Jack's drink of choice there. Mosquito Joe's, get 50% off on your first month of service on this side of the water through to Richmond. Fast Eddie's Barbecue. I think Fast Eddie would.
Happy late birthday, Eddie.
Yeah.
C.E. Clark Contracting.
Yeah, it's going to provide 20 people barbecue for our winner.
Whatever team wins gets 20 people for barbecue, plus me, you, and Adam.
Right. So that's 23 you got to go for. I think Factory Canopies and another one of our providers is going to provide a tent for the grand prize winner and some chairs, fully custom tent. Appreciate Todd Davis for putting that up. Miles of Seamless Gutter for putting up the money. And I can't believe they allowed us to do that. To give that kind of money away. Let's see who else we got. Frontline Performance, Race Fuels, Parts and Lubrications, the hottest fuel at Langley Speedway. May or may not pass tech.
Henry says he can do your job better than you.
The bar's not real high. Paquette Power Solutions. He was busy this week with all the snow and stuff. It seemed like I think he was putting another one. Jack, that's what you need, Jack. So then you have to worry about that generator, hooking that generator up. It just come on automatically.
No, just as soon as I went out there and got all my stuff together, it did go out. But if I hadn't gone and got all my stuff together, it would have went out sure as anything.
Let's see who else we got. What is this? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Guess we'll hit Slinger Speed Company and Tim Brown. Hit you wanted a local t-shirt shop, hit Tim Brown up for your local t-shirt needs. And with that, what's up? What's up, Eddie? What's up, Adrian? Gary, Victor, what's up, guys?
Aiden Ziedrich Racing. Hey, Aiden Ziedrich Racing. I saw you out there playing in your car in the snow. I mean, that was pretty cool.
Who would do something like that? Did you play around in the snow?
We didn't get a whole lot up here.
No,
we got about the dust.
Guess what?
We got a couple inches.
We didn't get 10 or 8 or 10 inches. Like
No.
Look, I had ice on my car that thick that I had to get off before I could do anything with my car. And Sherry had to go to work. So I had to get out there and we had to get her car straight.
There's a couple of cup drivers having fun in their driveways.
Yeah. There's a couple of them shoveling snow at the
Hey, Eddie, you're exactly right. He should give me one. Why don't you work on that and see if you can talk him into giving me one? That would be really cool. Oh my goodness. There's
the great Danny
the greatest race car driver at Langley Speedway. Danny Millard. There he is. That's my hero.
Mr. Slingshot.
That's my hero. Man, he made that boy look terrible out there when he went around. It's just like that guy let him go by.
I mean, like the throttle fell off.
Yeah, that was anyway. I'm all over it. Hey, I'm all for it if you do it.
How cool is this Dodge deal? I mean, this race for the seed. I mean, I think we all know who's going to win. I mean, it certainly seems to be a bright person in there, and the evidence says that he's probably the one that won, obviously, but
he's done well so far, at least.
Yes, but it's way cool, and it sounds like this is going to come back year after year. Apparently, I think as long as Dodge is in the thing, and I think Chris had mentioned that we plan on doing this, continuing doing this. So cool to give these guys, a platform and give somebody an opportunity.
It's
I
been
think it shined the light on short track racing that was never there before.
Absolutely.
Because you've got Flow and you've got a couple other different streaming platforms, but you're talking about publicly broadcasting something not only to Fox but then to YouTube the following day.
it's free.
And
Well,
attention that it's
you
never
had
had.
that, and then you got guys that are going to get a truck opportunity for a year.
Yep.
To get an opportunity, and you can't ask for much more than that because today you got to bring money.
Well, I think it puts these guys on the map too. I mean, look at the names that are on that list.
Not
Just the guy that wins, but like
I mean, I
some
tell you
big
what,
names that are in it.
I feel bad for Dylan. I mean, was it Dylan Ward?
Trevor.
Trevor Ward.
Yeah,
I feel bad for him
Because
because
he's a wheelman.
He is very good.
yeah, and he's
He reminds me kind of that old school racer guy.
He works hard.
in the interview process that just killed him there. I mean, that was just all.
Yeah, well, I don't think you won't get in a fight with him either.
No, not really. All right, let's talk about some news from this week. Maybe tomorrow they're actually going to run this clash. I mean, we were
Finally,
supposed to have it Saturday,
Sunday.
Sunday, Monday. They canceled it again on Monday.
Well, now they're forecasting rain, but they're saying we've got rain tires.
Yeah, they're going
Have you ever
to
tried to put rain tires on a track with no banking?
It's going to be it.
It's definitely gonna be interesting.
The Rockingham test, I think it's the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, and the trucks are going to test at Rockingham on Friday. So that'll be a 1-day test. It was supposed to be 2 days, but it's a 1-day test. This weekend, the Florence Icebreaker. That's going to be a fun race. You going down for the Icebreaker?
I'm not. I will be on my way to Daytona.
Well,
it's gonna be stacked, man.
yeah, that's going to
I'm
be.
seeing more and more names popping up for that icebreaker this year. People that are hitting it on the way down to Speed Week. And I was like, I don't know that I'd be doing that. It's might go down there and race cars short, but
Well, I talked to Steve Zacharias, and they're going to have it's going to be a big field, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
I think last count I saw was in the 30s.
I was thinking about going, but they're talking about cold, and I've had enough cold for the last 2 weeks. I don't need no parts of that anymore.
Well, it can't be but so cold in South Carolina.
Oh,
Be warmer than it is
Hey,
here.
hey,
I don't know.
Look, I'm supposed to be on a cruise this week, okay? And I didn't even want to get on the cruise because the cruise ship doesn't have heat.
Huh?
Was that sunshine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They don't have any heat on that ship. They said people were sleeping with blankets and hoodies and coats and jackets and everything to get to wherever the Celebration Key was the first stop. So to get down there, they had, no, I'm not going to do all that. And I told them we'll do it some other time. I can't. I don't want to be cold on a ship. I can't do that.
Here in
Danny said
cruise ship.
Aaron was holding him up.
Well, he was holding him up, and
I mean, it showed.
when the way he went around him.
Jeremy said maybe shouldn't have taken it out of Daytona. Yeah, well, this week it certainly seems that way.
All right, got Dario Franchitti is going to be driving the #1 Tricon truck at St. Petersburg this year. That's going to be interesting to see him get into a truck race this year. Seems like a whole lot of people are trying to get in a truck this year now that they've opened opened it up.
I know, and then like how many? So there are going to be 5 trucks. This 5th truck, is that just going to be a rotation of old Cup guys?
The one,
You talking about the hot seat?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So that's from my understanding. So obviously, Tony Stewart's in it for Daytona, but each race it'll be a celebrity invitational truck, and the other trucks are all going to be the rides for permanent drivers, and then the race for the seat driver. So the 5th truck will be like every week they'll get somebody from road course racing or NASCAR history or an old Hall of Famer to come race for them.
Do you think Mark Martin will be in it?
yes.
I think that
Okay,
absolutely.
I think that's a. If he isn't, I'll be extremely disappointed.
How about the college truck crew chiefs were announced for this coming year? Daniel Dye's got Dan Stillman going to be his crew chief.
Oh, really? Dang.
Haley is going to have Mike Hillman Jr. He came over. Brendan has Eddie Pardue. Of course, we all knew that anyway. Stewart has Yance, and the open car, which is the race for the seat car, will have Bruce Cook as the crew chief.
I mean, these are all-star crew chiefs. I mean,
And you know,
I mean,
and
They are.
and they let one of their crew chiefs, one of their cup crew chiefs is not there anymore.
Who?
Or he's not listed as being there anymore.
well, I seen him say something about that, but then he.
Andrew is gone. Andrew is not there. They've got somebody else.
But I thought, I seen they had somebody else listed, but then I thought they said that no, Andrew was still going to be with them, or maybe I read that wrong.
I don't have a clue on that. I need to get in touch with Andrew and find out because, you know,
I mean, he is technically an RCR employee.
yes, he is.
And I wonder if that's the reason because of the whole Dodge deal. Maybe he can't because he is an RCR employee.
That may be.
You know what I mean?
Connor Jones is going to be joining the Carroll Speed Shop for the full cars tour this year.
Saw that one.
And Carson Lofton is going to be back with Nelson Motorsports. That's going to be
No
good.
surprise on that one.
So
And look, Chase is
Who's in
who
second?
was it? Who was it that Chase signed with in the cars with Burrows?
Bro, he's with.
he's with Hedinger.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Chris Hedinger signed.
Mhm.
He's got that team. That's going to
That's
be
pretty cool. Good for him.
it's kind of funny. They said, "Well, now we know he didn't get the truck," but we'll see.
Well, he should have put that damn hat on.
Ooh, I saw that. Yeah, that was not good. That was not good.
Oh, yeah.
He went.
He put his after hours fabrication hat on. And
Showed
Chris was
showed up to the group of
he's
men
like,
with it on.
"Did they give you any damn money for this thing? Give me the hat. Take it off."
He had to take it off.
What's that? I mean, I don't blame you in one hand, but
Probably place your own spot.
right. Well, so he's like, "This is all about." And then before he got in the simulator, he's like, "I got you another
I'm
hat."
surprised they didn't blur it out.
I saw the whole deal with Connor Jones. Who's racing for Mike Garden this year?
Haven't heard.
Nothing yet.
Haven't
I
heard.
don't think I've seen anything either.
Mm.
Raymond Haynes says, "Hey, gentlemen, and you too, Scott."
Where's the block button?
And Clay Gaskins is watching.
I seen that. I seen Clay.
Yeah, what's up, Papa? And what's up, Adam and Scott? So
Not a name we see every week.
no, evidently he is not paying attention to his dad's birthday tonight.
Well.
Ain't you at dinner?
He's supposed to be at dinner with his daddy on his birthday. And
Clay.
Jack's already on the shit list because he didn't go start with it. So anyway, well, that's the news. And I don't see ALLI Owens, but I see her thing on there. There she is.
All right.
So let's go ahead and you got to do your intro thing.
Yeah, forget about that.
Yeah, I know you do. That's the reason why I'm here.
Hello, I'm Eric Enyart, and you're watching Jack Dodson's Racing Insider News with Scott Allen and Adam Welbrock.
Hello, ALLI. How are you?
Oh my gosh. It would not be a Tuesday if my children didn't lock me out of my house. So I'm sitting in a closet at my parents' house. It's great.
Why did they lock you out of your house?
They're teenage girls. And I'm like, don't lock the door. I don't have my key. And then I called them at cheerleading. I was like, why is the front door locked? Oh, we forgot. So here I am in the closet.
There's a lot of stories I could go with, but I'm not going to do that.
I guess we're going to be coming out of the closet. I don't know.
I didn't have to say it after all.
ALLI, give us a little background on you. I know a little bit about you because I've kept up with you through the years, but give us a little background on how you got started in racing to where you're at now.
Oh my goodness. Well, we're going to have to go back. There's some nostalgia there, right? I'm 37 now. So this started way back when I was 8. I actually started racing BMX bikes here in Florida, and I ran all over the world with it. I was actually training to be on the first Olympic team for the BMX stuff. And my dad took me out to the dirt track. Wrong move. I figured out real quick they go a lot faster and I didn't have to pedal. And I got to race against boys, not girls. So I was like, all right, let's do this. I was only 11 at the time, so I couldn't run at Volusia just yet. So we went quarter midget racing at New Smyrna Speedway. I did that for a year, and as soon as I hit 12, I'm like, they said I could go to the dirt track at 12. So we built a Chevy Chevette, and I ran pure stocks out there and Volkswagen Scirocco. And my dad made the worst mistake. He said that I could go asphalt racing if I could win some races. And we went out there that night and led every lap in the heat and feature. I was like, okay, going asphalt racing. And then we ran, back then they had the Goodyear Challenge Series here in Florida, which was really a fun series to run. So we ran that and found out real quick that trying to go racing professionally is a very expensive sport. And unless you got some money behind you, you're not going to go very far. So my dad and my mom just kind of sat down and like, hey, listen, like we're on our second mortgage with this house trying to get these late models going. And, you know, the money's running dry. And so I actually went to school. I was in 8th grade, maybe 9th grade. And one of my English teachers helped me put together a PowerPoint. You know, back then that was a cool thing to have.
Yeah.
And then I got on my bicycle and I just rode around the Daytona area and stumbled across a union contractor. And he's like, you know what? There's something here. He's like, if you could kind of put together a little bit about, you know, what you think you can do with schools and like building the trades in the high schools, I think I could get you an interview in Washington, D.C. So at 17, I flew up there and walked in. My dad's like, hey, if you're going to go racing, you got to do this on your own. So he left me in the room of the Monopoly men, as I call them. And I sold that deal and I moved to Charlotte the week after I turned 18 and ran the Wheeling Series up there at Hickory and Tri-County and Caraway. And then we went ARCA racing after that and thought everything was set up to be the golden child of the first ever diversity program. And that didn't pan out to be very much of anything. And unfortunately, one thing led to another, and I just ended up running out of the money and retired, if you will, not willingly. And then I have my kids. So I have two daughters, 14 and 12, and then an 18-month-old baby boy, and I'm a sole custody single mom. So I was like, you know what? Life isn't hard enough. Let's go racing again. So so I gave myself 60 days. I was like, all right, if I can put a deal together, start to finish in 60 days, I'll do it. And sure enough, for some reason, the yeses came a lot easier 16 years later than they did back then. And here we are going to Daytona.
So what are you going to be doing?
So the goal was, honestly, it was more so to come back out of the woodwork with everything going on in the NASCAR world. And it was a little bit frustrating because we're very much blue collar around here, that we're spending so much money to market and advertise to the people that used to fill the grandstands. And I just kind of wanted to do it for us, for the people that, you know, don't feel like they ever have a shot in the underdogs, just to kind of prove that we can be here. We just got to be smart and figure out ways to do it. So Daytona was just more so to be an open mic for me to kind of explain my story of, you know, why the industry doesn't really work out sometimes for the female side of it. And then the people, you know, you keep seeing all this stuff like buy a ride. Everything in NASCAR is bought. You know, there's not really anybody that comes in purely on talent anymore. And even if they do, they still got to figure out the sponsorship stuff. So it's just supposed to be Daytona. And then Lord knows what's going to happen from here. I'm like, as soon as I said Daytona and then I got it done, I was like, well, what about Talladega? And then I'm really good friends with Chris Hettinger. And I'm like, now he's got that Xfinity deal. I was like, if I go run a couple races there, I'm like, Allie, stop. That's the goal. And we'll see how we do. We got a really great car. If we turn around and win this thing, oh my gosh, I just opened up Pandora's box.
How does your kids feel about this? Are they super excited? It's got to be way cool to.
Must not be. They locked her in the closet.
Well,
They locked me in the closet. What are you talking about? My kids don't think I'm cool at all. They're like, Mom, stop.
Is that what they think? It probably is.
So I actually, my 12-year-old, she is very much competitive cheerleading. So we were just in Orlando all weekend for her cheerleading. And my other one does club volleyball. She's 14 and she's 5'11". So both of my girls are very much involved in travel sports. So the bigger thing isn't so much like, what am I going to do after this? It's like, okay, what can my schedule allow me to do between cheerleading and volleyball? And I think it's becoming real for them. I did run the Xfinity Series race at Richmond in 2016, which I had no business being there, just in that car. And then I just wasn't prepared mentally to be there. So they have been to the track, and I also ran dirt midgets, and I ran for the Skinners at New Smyrna in a late model, and then I ran some dirt late model stuff at Golden Isle. So they've been around it. There's just not a lot of memory for them of the bigger stuff of like, you know, your mom had some clout back in the day. So it's weird for them, I think, now to see, like, we just got the hero cards done. And the first thing they did was turn them over and they're like, Mom, our picture's on there. So it'll be an experience. They thought the test was really cool. That was the first time they ever got to, you know, see that side of me. So it's pretty awesome.
So how did the test go for you?
Oh my gosh, it was phenomenal. So my car with Kimmel Racing was actually an intermediate car. And they completely gutted it and rebuilt it to be a super speedway car. So they had no idea going into the test what that car was going to do. Like, we pretty much went to that test hoping that we would be somewhat competitive and then figuring out what we would have to do to fix it once we got back to see where we were missing. But Nolan, who is running the other, it's not actually a Kimmel car at all. It's a Rev Racing car that he bought and that the Kimmels are taking care of. So we had somewhat of a baseline of like a super speedway, like compared sitting next to it, which was really, I think, helpful for the team. But we rolled that thing out of the box and we were top 5, you know, most of the day until the bigger drafts got out there with the Nitro cars and stuff like that, the JGR cars, and we were holding our own. And then Saturday we were P1 on the board for a long, long time. And we ended up 12th overall out of, like, I think it was like 75 drivers over there. So
Well, that's really good. You had a great test.
yeah, it was these cars, I feel like they don't give rookie drivers enough credit in these cars. You can't see a damn thing. They are brick walls. On the older cars, you know, we had that rounded back body, so like you could still kind of see over the quarter panel going into the turns, especially you know, when you're in the draft, you know, there's not very much control you have over, you know, what you're aiming for. But these cars really make it difficult. So I do understand now, you know, you kind of look at the ARCA races the last few years and you're like, why are these people wrecking? Like, why can't they stay in a straight line? Like, what's going on here? And they're just big buses. Like, they definitely do not move or handle like the older cars do.
Did you spend a lot of time in the draft in the test, or did you get any time in the draft?
Yeah, we were in the draft quite a bit. We got to draft with some of the Nitro cars. We got to draft with Cletus McFarlane, a little bit with Rhett Jones Racing. But we try to stay in the draft as much as possible because at the end of the day, it's not like the old school where you're doing single car qualifying. You know, you're in the draft. But the big thing for us that first day was, you know, what do we even have? Like, what is this car going to do? And we were pretty sporty with single car runs. They were very impressed with the car. And the draft, there's just, you know, the big thing I think for me was just kind of getting the feel for it. And then we just kept making runs and tried to stay out there as long as possible. And I feel like the car that we were following on the second day to get into the bigger draft kind of messed up getting off pit road. So we didn't really get a chance to, you know, suck up too much to the Nitro cars like we wanted to. But I think if we did, I think our car easily would have been the top 5. It's a good car. It's a very good car. I could put that car anywhere on the track, and that's huge.
So what is the biggest difference you're seeing from the time you were racing before till now? What are some of the biggest differences you've got?
So they slam these things on the ground with bump stops. It's very similar to that feel of a late model. You know, they drive like a plow. So it's just that fine line. You know, you're going 180 miles an hour in the draft. So at what point, you know, are you trying to get your valences to touch, you know, trying to get the bump stops to be as smooth as possible? So it's definitely a handling game. More so like when I raced, it was more, I mean, I don't know if you remember looking at some of these cars, but they look very cattywampus, where you got the rear end over here and the nose is over here. And you're like, can these cars go straight? Because they look like they're dog-legging. There was a lot more, I think, technical differences from those cars. You know, you really spent a lot of time with Bondo in the shop and like making these cars do different dances. And now it's different. You're just pretty much like, how low and slam down can you get this car and still be able to handle? And then get a driver in there that can give you feedback on a setup that, you know, you got to be very particular on. Because we went out there the first run and I'm just like, gosh, dang, I feel like I'm at like Tri-County again, like ding, 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 ding. And then we made like one little adjustment. I'm like, oh, okay, that was a pretty significant adjustment. So you are feeling the adjustments a lot more than you did in the older cars.
So what's your goals for Daytona?
Bring it home in one piece. It's a lot different when it's your pocketbook on the line for a crash clause.
That is true. That is.
And I'm old, man, 37. That wall's gonna feel a little bit different than it did back at 20. Honestly, I just want to have a good finish. You know, we've run very solid anytime I've ever been at a super speedway. We qualified outside front row at Daytona in 2009 and ran up front all day. We finished 6th at Talladega. I've always been up front. We were actually in contention to win at Talladega in 2010 and blew a motor. So I feel like with me, my patience is a key, and I have no patience off the track. But in the draft, I can see things, I understand things. And Joey Logano actually was driving for Venturini when we were really learning about bump drafting and learning about air. And I really got to go to school with him and learn a lot from that. And I feel like carrying what I learned back then into today and like playing with that on the track, like I feel like I can understand the air of these cars. And, you know, the key with these cars is not letting off the gas, but knowing how to trail brake at the right times and like feather the throttle and not let completely off of it. And that's a skill in its own. And I think my experience overall is going to be very beneficial for that part of it. And I have no pride. So at the end of the day, if I got to pull out of there because everybody else is going crazy, I'll ride in the back until, you know, it's ready to rock and roll. So, and I've done that before. Me and Frank Kimmel in 2009 at Talladega, we chose to kind of go to the back a little bit. And we went up top and we just kept sinking like a rock. And I'm like, what are we doing? But then it works. You get hooked up and then everybody else is bobbling on the bottom and you just go to the front. And we did. We finished 5th and 6th. So just having a clean finish run would be perfect because then we can go to Talladega.
How hard, and when you talk about not being able to lift off the gas or just sort of feather or trail brake instead of letting off, how hard is that? I mean, to me, it just seems like that's got to, like, goes against the grain, right?
Yeah, it's really weird because, you know, you're on the front straightaway and you're going through the tri-oval and you can really feel, it's almost like 60 cars back before you actually get into the apex of the turn. You have a really strong pull to the car in front of you. Mm-hmm. And that's where people screw up, is because they don't know how to handle that. So you have to like trail brake. So going into the corner, so you're almost like pulling back a lot further and then letting that gap close up so that you're not braking in the middle of the corner. So you got to kind of preset yourself back to allow the car to have that pull. And that's really important because think about that. Like if you're going to make your pass, you're not passing in the middle of the corners like you would in a late model where you're trying to get the nose under. You know, that pass is made on that big run coming to the outside. And if you're trail braking in the apex of the corner and you're letting off the gas, now you have to work the entire straightaway to build that momentum again, instead of pre-trail braking before you enter the corner, of letting that draft pull you in and then being able to slingshot yourself on the outside or the inside coming off the turn. So it's you just got to know what you're doing and experience and failing many of times of learning that. And, you know, I think this will be my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This will be my 8th time on a super speedway. There's not a lot of drivers in the field that can say that. And I've learned what to do and I've learned what not to do. So that is a benefit I think I do have going into Daytona over a lot of the guys that, you know, this is their either first, second, third season.
Well, I hope everything turns out great for you down there because I'll be pulling for you, and I think it'll be very interesting to go down there and have a good run.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I didn't realize there were 6 girls. That's pretty cool. I'm used to being like a one-man band over here, so there's 6 of us going down there, which is pretty interesting.
I didn't know that either. I hadn't even paid attention to that. So.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like, that's got to be kind of cool too. To like, you know, you were sort of on the forefront at one time of females in the sport, and how many more females we see today. Is there any advice that you would give some young female that wants to come up in the sport?
I think, and I kind of touched on this last week in another interview that I did. Here's the biggest, I would say, problem with females in the sport is that we're very easily marketable. So you can spend $30,000 with me and get the same advertisement. You're going to have to spend $500,000 with a guy. And that kills us because at the end of the day, if the sponsor gets what they want, they don't have to spend the money. That's not keeping us in a car. So I think for us is like, and I tried so hard to tell these girls is just like, don't give yourself away. We're easily marketable. Like you have to know your worth because at the end of the day, the team might love you to death, but their doors and lights stay on and that car hits the track with money, right? And if you're giving it away, you know, you're devaluing your brand. And sometimes it's hard because you really want to race. And you're just like, all right, if it's costing me 80, but you can only do 20, fine, I'll do it for 20. Well, then now you just set yourself up to not be able to continue to run. And I think for women, that's a lot harder because our brand is our marketing, right? So like, you know, I've never done any modeling with it, but my sponsors get what they need. I haven't raced in 16 years. And like my sponsors that like, even the ones now, like with Bighorn, like there's not a lot of effort you have to put in to gain the attraction like you would, you know, where a guy just constantly has to be in your face and has to perform and has to be a good driver and has to do all these things to get the same attention that we get as a female. So it kills us on the sponsor dollar. So it just would be making sure that you keep your value high and don't undersell yourself. And it gets really difficult to do that. I mean, look at Tody Breidinger. She has everything under the sun going for her. Like if there could be a second Danica Patrick coming behind that can do all the things Danica did on and off the track, it's Tony. But why is she only running 8 races in 2026 when she has so much of like big brands that want to stand behind her? Is because she can do so much off track. Why do I have to pay the money to keep her on it?
Yeah,
That's true. That's very true.
and I agree with you. You know, I mean, I agree with your analogy. And I think from a sponsor standpoint, right, you do. And the facts are the facts, right? You can get much more attention with a good female than you can with a guy, right? You're just another guy. You stand out. I mean, and it opens up to different brands, right? You know, so I totally agree.
And there comes a plateau where now you've hit the door. You've done so well off the track with marketing. There's nobody that's going to want to come in to keep you on the track when they can do other things with you. You know, it's cheaper to be an endorsement than it is I mean, you got to understand, to run the ARCA series right now, you're looking at $2 million, you know, to go run that in a good car. You go to the trucks, you're at 3.5. You're going into the O'Reilly series, you're at 5 to 6. And then, you know, it's just a lot of money. And when you have and I think honestly, that's one of the things too, when you have somebody like a Taylor Reimer and a Tody Breidinger, and you have, you know, all these women that look really pretty off the track, it's the best and worst thing that can happen to them, because we're not getting further than ARCA. And it's just like, why? Or if we get to ARCA, it's like, okay, we're going to go run trucks, but then we're not like Haley Deegan's perfect example. Like, you know, like why are we not continuing to grow and the money runs out? Because we're doing too much. We're so successful without it.
That was my problem. I was too pretty off the racetrack.
That's it.
Don't agree with him. Don't do that. Well, Allie, we appreciate you spending some time with us tonight.
Absolutely.
I know you got to come out of the closet.
Yeah. Sorry.
I gotta go figure out how to get in my house.
That's pretty cool. But thank you for being with us, and hopefully we'll have a good run down at Daytona, and we'll be having you back and talk about that.
Yeah,
that'd be great. I appreciate it. You guys have a good night, okay? And stay warm.
We're trying. Thank you. We'll talk to you later.
All right. See you. Bye-bye.
I mean, it's going to be way cool too to be able to bring her kids and then to see how spotlighted it is, and they might think she's cool after it's all over.
I think he wins a race.
If they locked her out of the house, I don't think
put her in the closet.
I don't think that's
They're trying
fine.
to get her not to go.
That's not a glaring thank you for that. All right, let's get the main man over here.
Another hot shot going to Daytona.
Yeah, another Daytona.
Full throttle.
Come on around here. You got that seat there. I'll move it here. I may look up and take the baby away from Chris.
I got you. Don't mess with the camera. I got you.
You what?
I didn't
She's
choose.
not asking you to push no button today.
No, I ain't gonna push nothing. All right, we got Danton Wyatt.
Yes,
Getting ready to make the trip to Daytona. Tell us what you and I were talking at the whatever that was last week. You got a lot of stuff going on this year. So tell us a little bit what you got going on.
Yeah. Last year, when the end of the year came around, the Thanksgiving Classic, I went to the track with one client, got to the track, and by the end of first practice, I had 5. One of which was Lee Pulliam and Junior Motorsports. That was the biggest one, and that post for me was my largest performing post last year with across all platforms over 150,000 views on just one post.
Wow.
Once I noticed that when I got to the track, it seemed like I always go say hi to as many people as I can. Like if I've seen you at a race, I've seen you at a Cars Tour event or South Boston or Triple Crown. I try and go say hi to everybody. And I started going around and everybody was like, what are you doing next year? And I was like, I honestly have no idea.
For hire.
Yeah, right, exactly. I was like,
Name for hire.
I told all of them, I was like, I'd really like to do this, but it needs to be, for sure, like this is going to work before I decide to do it full time.
Yeah, because you had another job, and that was.
I was working with Toyota. Been with them, or was with them for a little bit over 3 years, and then the off season came around, and I was like, all right, you know what, I'm gonna put the nose to the grindstone and see what I can do. And I started writing proposals for everybody who talked to me at some point during the season and said, hey, I want to look at booking you for next year. And they didn't talk about events or singular races. They wanted to run a season. Now, come around about a month and a half ago, 3 of those clients, and I can't name any of them right now because they're not public yet, but I will be making announcements shortly. 3 of those clients came up, and
nobody watches
those 3 clients make me what my salary did at my old job. And I said, okay, well, I need definitive yeses from at least one of them. And then another person who had written a proposal for Daytona at New Smyrna for World Series of Asphalt came up and was like, hey, man, I know it's short notice, and this is probably about a month ago. I think it was about a month ago I wrote it for him. And I know it's short notice, but are you going to New Smyrna for, World Series of Asphalt? And I said, no, I didn't have any plans to, but what are you thinking? He was like, well, I'm going to be down there and I'm racing 6 out of the 7 days.
Damn.
He was like, and I need someone to come cover me. And I said, all right, well, let me throw it together. And I put a package together. I was like, all right, I can't be doing, the underselling myself that I did last year. I've got to make sure I'm positioning myself as a professional organization, professional photography and videography, make sure that my value is something that I put out, not just something that people tell me I have.
You also have a social media.
Yeah, and now I'm also doing social media management too. That's not obviously offered to single race options, but for people who are signing entire contracts with me for the season, they get social media management as well. But anyways, we go back to the New Smyrna deal, and he says, all right, I'm going to take a look at it. And about 5 minutes later, I got the green light. I was like, okay, I was expecting a week, maybe 3 or 4 days, because typically when you work with race car drivers, and I'll say this last year and I'll say it again this year, you typically don't get a response 5 minutes after you send a quote. You get a response 5 minutes before the race starts.
Where are you at?
When are you going to be here? I didn't know I was with you. All right. But no, that happened, and then as soon as that happened, I put the announcement up for that. I started getting, and in the last 3 days, 4 more contracts rolled in, and 3 of them are Sobo. Full season contracts for sports. 2 sportsman drivers, 1 late model driver. Have another late model driver pending. 3 of them are going to be doing Triple Crown contracts outside of their normal contract, and 1 of them is a manufacturer.
Wow.
Which is a really big one. That one's going to be a 2-driver deal. That one will probably be the next announcement to come, if I had to guess, outside of the driver I just signed with, which I will go ahead and say today because I had the signed contract as of last night. Tyler Garrettson, one of the top finishers last year at Sobo for the Sportsman Series, is my first full-time client for 2026 at Sobo. So I'll be covering his entire season. He's going to be doing some other stuff outside of that as well to be announced. Don't know what divisions yet, but he is going to be doing some travel stuff through the year and has some other races in mind that are bigger ones. But he is also venturing off into late model at some point in the next year or so too. But that's all, depending. A great up and coming kid. I've looked at a lot of his stuff. I watched some of the replays from last year. He's got a crap load of potential, and he just wanted somebody to cover him and get all his stuff straight. So let's be real here, branding is consistent.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing.
My question is, you're gonna be going down there to Daytona, you're gonna be going to New Smyrna. You can do that with that, and under that contract or whatever you got going on there. How do you divide your time up when you come back here? You got, I know you're gonna do some cars tours. I know that. I already.
Wait for him to say something about it.
Yeah, I go down to Daytona, shoot New Smyrna for 6 days, go to the Craftsman race and the Cup race, and leave up out of Daytona. And 3 days later, I go to Coastal Plains for the car store opener. And that's pretty much how the rest of my year is going to go up until October.
So if you got a contract with somebody at Sobo, and you got a car tour race coming up somewhere, how do you divide that time up to me? Where's the priority?
You got a big spreadsheet of all this?
And I do. I have an entire Excel sheet that
Like, I
helped
would
me put
not-
together. And so essentially the way it worked out was I had to look at where my ducks were. So I got 2 potential car store contracts, maybe 3. One of them was a partial. Obviously, I have some stuff with Brian Blevins later this year whenever he races, and I can be at the event that they're at. But when it comes down to it, 75–80% of my income's at Sobo. So as far as those are concerned, those people were the first ones to send me yeses. Then the 2 of them that I'm working on now are the first ones to sign contracts. So Sobo becomes the more important factor.
Primary.
So what happens is right now for the season this year, Sobo conflicts with 5 Cars Tour races. So that still leaves 10 Cars Tour races that I'm able to attend. So anybody who gets a Cars Tour contract from me, it would essentially be, hey, I can perform media at 10 of the races this year. These are the ones I can be at. And now for them, that also means it's a reduced rate from what I was going to charge for 15 races. But unfortunately, there's 5 races because of South Boston that I can't be at anymore.
How many cars can you keep up with in one day or weekend?
Realistically, last year towards the end of the year, it was pretty easy for me to do 4 to 5 cars.
I was going to say 5.
Now with this year, the main benefit being, I'm not going to be showing up to a racetrack on race day morning and leaving at night to go to work the next day. It's my job. So South Boston, obviously, sometimes they have practice days the day before or open practice the week of, and that's another thing that's built into my contracts as well. Each driver also gets 2 to 3 open practice session shoots per season, and that's either preseason, during season, or postseason. And that's where I can generate more content for that driver, so that, say I have a day where I show up at the track and I have 5 clients and I have 2 more that want to come on board, I have the ability to use everything. And it's places where you can fill holes. Now, as far as photography and videography on race day, that's the most important thing. I'm probably still only going to take a max of 5 clients per event. Until I can afford or have the ability to hire a second shooter to go to a race with me, it's one of those things where you have to kind of weigh the possibility of a problem versus a little bit of extra money. I'd rather keep my content consistent, keep my performance consistent, and keep people happy than take on 2 extra clients and lose my quality.
Yeah, don't ask me and Jack if you need any help.
Yeah. I don't want y'all to hit the wrong button.
Exactly.
I think that was a cut to me.
It took him a minute, but he got it.
So why are you gonna cut me like that?
So then when you done for the night, do you send this stuff out to them or do you post stuff? How does this normally work? Like if I was your client the next morning or the next day or day 2, how does that, how quickly do you get the stuff out?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how important it is or is not, but
this year's a little bit different. My turnaround for photos is going to be the same. So drivers at all events will get photos the next day. It won't be all of them, but it'll be enough to make a post. It'll be a good quality and quantity of photos, but it's not going to be the complete portfolio.
Gotcha.
It's always been my goal the day after to make sure that the day after they have content to post, because you have to do that to satisfy sponsors.
Sure. Yeah.
But typically my turnaround for everything is 2 to 3 days. This year, my videography is going in a completely different direction than it was last year. I'm not doing the short little TikTok form clips unless specifically requested. Otherwise, most of my vertical and horizontal form content is going to be more cinematic.
Okay.
So it's going to be longer form content. Some of the vertical ones you've seen on either my Instagram or Facebook in the last couple of months that are 45 seconds to a minute and 20 seconds, that's my goal this year, instead of the 15 to 30-second videos. So obviously with that, you have a larger turnaround time. You go from editing a 15 to 20-second video that's, just quick and peppy.
That's been pulled from about 40 different videos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have to figure out how to strategically make a story. It's not just putting videos together and putting some music behind it and then adding transitions.
That's why our shit don't look good.
But no, it's just a different direction this year. Wanted to go a little bit more, honestly, NASCAR style video, Formula One style video. Almost all the content you see from them on any platform is almost always long form, which is 60 to 90 seconds.
So how did you learn, or how did you get started in this? And then how did you learn how to do this stuff? I mean, me and Jack, he still can't figure out hitting the button.
I really just came out and started shooting pictures one day, and I had a lot of fun doing it. And I realized that, they were crisp. Everybody liked them. They were crisp and clean, and that's all I kept hearing. And I was like, all right, well, let me try and mess around with settings a little bit and see what I can do. And this was almost 2 years ago now. Last year was the first year I started doing it as a business. The year before was strictly a hobby. But that first year of doing it as a hobby, I was like, okay, this is really, I really enjoyed doing this, and it grounds me at the track again. Like, because I've always come out of the track and watched and been at the racetrack, but doing photography and doing media at the racetrack is a whole different ball game. The involvement you get, the way that drivers and crew and everybody else looks at you when you're holding a camera, it's everybody's your friend when you're a photographer or you're with media. And the cool thing about that is you walk up to somebody at the racetrack you've never seen before, and if you've got a camera and a media shirt on, they'll talk to you about anything.
Yeah.
You can find out everything behind the scenes.
Kind of nice.
All
It is. People know who you are.
Yeah.
You don't know who they are.
Oh, dude, that was the biggest problem at Southern National for the Thanksgiving Classic was I showed up and I had random people coming up to me that were just like, you're full throttle media. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, I don't know you. And then I see you on Instagram and Facebook all the time. I was like, oh, okay. So I guess.
Yeah, I was standing there talking to Wayne here. He come down through there. And I spoke to him. He acted like he didn't know who I was to start. It kept on going. Well, I guess I'm not on that desk. You're not media.
So I have a crazy story to tell. I was in South Carolina for Christmas visiting my friends down there. And there was this big
Henry.
hopped up truck that was in the parking lot of Best Bud's restaurant. And it had the racing sticker in the back glass. I didn't, we always see it. We're going to see it. I go inside, I eat, I'm getting ready to leave, and I see Dad, and I knew it was the boy because he had a big fluffy mullet. And I was going to the restroom, and I stopped, and I said, you race cars? And he's kind of smiled, and he said, I do. I said, I saw your big truck outside. And we started talking, and I told him, I said, yeah, I said, my son does, he does racing photography and videography. And I said, his company is Full Throttle. And the kid goes, Full Throttle? I'm like, yeah. He opens his TikTok, goes straight to Dance page. He's like, I follow him. This kid's in South Carolina. And it was just pretty wild. It's like, dang, this kid's got a little bit of reach.
It is. Me and Jack one time were in Charlotte. We're at this there's some kind of thing to raise money. And this guy comes up and he's like, hey, Scott, hey, Jack, how you doing? And he's talking to I might have no clue who this person is.
Yep.
I mean, we have like a 5-minute conversation. He walked away. I'm like, who the hell is that?
I didn't know who it was either. That happened a lot.
Yeah, I was like,
One guy come up to us, he said, you're Jack Dodson. I said, well, that all depends on what you want with it. But I mean, it's cool. I mean,
it is fun. It does have its benefits.
But I do follow your stuff, and you do a wonderful job.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great what you do. So I
I appreciate that.
And I mean,
it's a shame your grandpa's got to hire somebody.
Available for Florida.
There'll be 4 or 5 races at Langley this year that I'll be here. One of them being the Triple Crown. But yeah, most of it's definitely taking me away from Langley this year, which
Hey.
on one hand I'm sad to see, but on the other hand it shows me that, you know, I'm far more than just being at a home track.
Absolutely.
And that was something I would not have given
Going to
myself.
Florida.
Yeah.
I mean,
I would not have given that to myself last year this time. I definitely would not have thought this time last year that I was going to Florida for almost 2 weeks. And it's just been it's a really cool ride, and it's, you know, and to anybody in the, you know, who's creative and, you know, you've thought about, you know, hey, I want to go out and shoot race cars. You never know. Just go try it.
Right.
You know, that's all it was for me. That's all it was 2 years ago. Was I wanted to go out and try it. I took my camera out to the track, and it's turned into my full-time job. And that took less than 24 months.
wow.
So
Well, your stuff is clean, and it is good. I mean, I'm always very impressed with what you've done, because I can't do it. that's for damn sure.
He is not the least bit satisfied with what he's doing. He is trying to raise the bar so high, and I argue with him because he has to spend money, but
Got to spend money to make money.
that's right. But I see what he does, and he's done it on his own. So
Yeah, I mean, it is good. I mean, I'll give you a ton of credit. I'm a long way from that little kid I used to see at arena racing.
yeah.
Running around with Jackson and them.
I look back at that. I see that pop up on my Facebook memories. I'm like, man, that was
So
16
long, but not
years ago. I'm like, wow.
I
Like,
know,
you
right?
don't think it's 16 years ago until you look at it. And you're just like, yeah,
you're
that's
about to turn 30, son.
you don't remind me. I can remind you of your age.
51.
Yeah.
I'll own it.
Take that, bitch.
Anyway, well, we appreciate you coming out. Have a good time down there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And take plenty of pictures. And I promise I won't steal many.
No, it's going to be a good time. It looks like the weather's going to be great down there. I think there's one day where we've got a light forecast of rain, and it's, you know, in the morning. And the entire time we're down there, it's between 65 to 75 degrees and sunny.
Right.
So it's going to be a beautiful week, 2 weeks.
Just to give you a heads up, I didn't get any more pictures from the other night. Not yet. Not yet.
I sent you a folder.
I know. I got it. I got it. I haven't used them yet.
It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah, yeah.
But man, and if there's any way we can help you, let us know. If you want to announce anything, man, come back and let's do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And congratulations, man. Good job.
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Go have some fun.
brother.
Yes,
Go
sir.
have some fun down Daytona. Think about us little peons back here in the snow. I mean, geez.
It's snow.
Yeah, we'll be freezing.
Well, it's supposed to snow again tomorrow.
Is it?
Well, it's just a dump. But now that's when we'll actually get it.
Yes, that's exactly right. All right, go ahead to your.
Let me know when I'm hot.
You're hot.
Robert Rummels with Mosquito Joe. Thank you for tuning in to the Jack Dodson Racing Insider News with Scott Allen. See you next week.
And there's Jake Bowman. How you doing, Jake?
Good. How are you guys?
We're doing great, man. So, and you must be doing really good with all the stuff you got going on.
Yes, I am doing very well.
Despite Todd.
Yeah, I mean, you're doing all this, and you still got Todd on your side. I don't understand.
He's there.
That didn't sound too promising.
No, he's doing everything he can for me right now. I'll tell you
Well,
that.
you know, he's been involved with you, what, now 2 or 3 years since you've been with him?
Oh man, it's been longer than that. I think this is going on the 4th.
Oh, okay. Well,
Fourth
I
year.
remember meeting you at Richmond when you were with him at Richmond.
That's right. That's right.
And that's really cool that, you know, that you've been with him that long. So what all has he done to help you get to this point that you're going into now?
Honestly, I mean, I know you know Todd real well, and I feel like I've learned a lot of business side of with him. And honestly, the connections he's had. I mean, I've gained most of these teams that I've raced for now. You know, I knew just from being around Todd. You know, meeting them. You know, going with him with his canopy stuff. You know, I met Nick Tucker, obviously Nitro. months before I even talked about this deal coming down. And it was kind of cool that I already kind of knew him, right? And he knew me, and it just kind of happened the way it happened. And that's just, that's how I, it's from Todd, really. I mean, so really every team that I've ran with out here has honestly been from Todd.
I would agree with that, because I don't think every time we go to Charlotte and we hang around, it's like he knows somebody from everywhere. I mean, he probably is the one person that knows everybody.
Yes. He knows every single person in any type of motorsports industry.
Yeah.
So what are you looking forward to this year? You got a whole new thing going on this year with doing ARCA and with Nitro Motorsports. So what are you looking forward to this year, and what are your goals and expectations?
Really, I mean, obviously last year, I ran some ARCA West stuff and with Bill McAnally, and that went really well with the Napa car. Got us 100th win. That was a great season last year. We definitely had some O's and some bad luck, but I mean, that's racing, right? But this year, I mean, now I have some ARCA experience, I should say, actually driving the car under my belt. Let's just start off with Daytona, right? Like, first big track, drafting, it's going to be a whole different ball game for me. But realistically, we're running the whole campaign, the whole ARCA Menard series, the national. So it's 20 races, going for the championship. So honestly, I'm really just start looking at Daytona right now, trying to get through it, finish the race, because we need those points. Just stay clean, right? The whole season. I feel like if I just stay clean every race, obviously, if we're going to contend for the win, I'm going to go for the win. But, championship, right? I think an ARCA Menard Series championship will do a lot for me. So that's really my end goal. But who knows? I think it's going to be a really good year. I want to, thank Nitro so much, obviously. They called me. Don't get me wrong, I'm so fortunate to be there.
Yeah. Have you run Daytona before?
No.
No. Okay.
So I did the Daytona test, 2 or 3 weeks ago. Honestly, that went real good. I mean, if you look at lap times from Friday and Saturday, we ended up 6th really on time. I think we could have been a little bit better, but I had 6 teammates there that weekend, so we were drafting the 6 of us, and I feel like I learned a lot just from my teammates, just since they've kind of had some experience doing it.
How nervous were you making the first couple laps at Daytona? It's got to be kind of nerve-wracking, right? You go in the corner and you don't lift. That kind of goes against the grain, right?
Yeah, from the short track side, for sure. One thing that, I was more nervous to, they made us, since I was obviously a rookie for the Daytona test and being on Daytona, they made us go around in a minivan, actually. Not us driving, but they took a group of us drivers to go around the racetrack. And honestly, I was probably more nervous than that. We were in a minivan going 110 mile an hour the whole racetrack. Oh man, who was driving? I think Frank Kimmel was driving. Senior.
Okay.
And yeah, he I was more nervous than that. After all that happened, I was perfectly fine. Just because you felt the G-force. Honestly, in the minivan, I feel like I felt more in that than the actual car. Yeah. Speed wise, obviously I feel like once you go that fast, you're not really. I feel like there's not a difference from 120 to 190, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not nervous, honestly, for Daytona coming up. Honestly, more just going to be really more cautious around the cars I'm around, and more pay attention, be very smart for the race, and just go out there and finish the race.
What's your goals for Daytona?
Obviously, I know I have the top 5 car, I feel like, just from the test, which, Daytona, we can show up and it can be a whole different car, right? A whole different racetrack. I mean, obviously, the goal is to win, right? But smart long-term goal, finish the race, like I said, right? Top 10 I'll be fine with, because I'll tell you what, there's going to be 5-6 cars in that top 10 that aren't going to race the whole season. So that's kind of how I'm looking at it. We got a lot of short tracks and, some more super speedway stuff. So just how I'm looking at it. You know, I think that's my smartest thing I can really do at this time. And if a win comes, it comes, right? You know, if they're wrecking behind me and, you know, I only got one car in front of me, well, I'm going to do everything I can to get by them. But so.
Yeah. Well, I think, you know, I mean, your theory is right. Doing the ARCA, I mean, it certainly seems to be kind of the new path, right? I mean, Butterbean did it last year and it seemed to work out, and he's got a lot of traction from it. And that kind of seems to be the newest way to sort of run well and establish a name and a brand, right? So I think it's a great idea. And hey, he came out of the box and won Daytona his first time there, so maybe you can do the same thing.
That's right. And I know I have the backing behind me to do it, the car to do it. And I just have to put myself in the best situation I can for the weekend.
So who do you lean to for advice at Daytona like you're going this week? Do you have somebody on the team that you can lean on, or do you have somebody outside of that?
I do, actually. Obviously, you know, all the guys at Toyota, they're always helping my engineer. You know, they've been coaching me, obviously. And another side, what I do here at home is I'm kind of good friends with TJ Majors, spotter for Brad Keselowski. I've been doing some sim work just on iRacing, drafting stuff with him and a couple of his guys, and just kind of teaching me the smart moves, right? I don't know, obviously, the smart moves at Daytona, what to do, what not to do. There's a lot of what nots, right? So I feel like he's been the most kind of help for the smart racing. Speed-wise, you know, I can name 5 people off the top of my head, right? Gus teammate, you know, he won last year. He's honestly been a big help at the Daytona test, just getting me used to it, get me up to speed. But yeah, I mean,
Gus has a lot of experience at Daytona and has run well there, right?
Yeah. He runs super speedway stuff and he does really well. You know, he puts himself in the best situations, right? So, you know, I just got to kind of mimic that.
I think you know, what kind of other stuff have you done to prepare for Daytona other than the sim work and all that? I mean, you got a lot of stuff that you gotta get in shape for and everything that you've never been there before. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So, honestly, I've been working out every day since now I'm a Toyota racing driver. They've been working me out like crazy, doing tests, just making tests in the gym, just making sure that my heart rate will be good. Some heat room stuff. Just there's a whole bunch of things that you know, Daytona will do to your body just because of the G-force constantly through the corners. But I mean, overall, I feel like I'm going to be in pretty good shape.
Are you going to run anything else besides the ARCA schedule?
Yes. So obviously, I'm going to run ARCA National full time, 20 races, and then obviously I'm going to do some late model stock stuff. I'm going to do Cars Tour stuff as much as I can. Right. You know, there's going to be some conflicting weekends, but I'm going to still do the short track stuff because I still think that's a good place to be in just for some seat time.
Mm-hmm.
And gonna run the Triple Crown. It's gonna come up there to you guys.
All right. Thanks.
That's really it. That's really all I got.
So what you're telling us is you're going to do the Triple Crown coming to Langley, and Todd will probably be with you.
Oh, I'm sure he'll come.
Oh Lord, there goes the town. We hope. But
We'll have to do dinner or something.
yeah, I mean, we got to get with it. But Jake, one of the things, getting ready to go and do all this year, ARCA has one of the most diversified schedules you'll ever see. You got road course, you got dirt, you got the dirt. Have you ever raced much on dirt?
I actually have. That's what I started in. I started doing off road, which obviously a lot different if you know what that is. You know, we're jumping and turning right and all that. But still, I have the concept down, and I ran 5 Millbridge races last year. So, and I'm going to run a couple more before our dirt races here. So I feel like that'll kind of get me back in the loop of it. But obviously, an ARCA car on dirt's a lot different than a micro and all that. So I mean, what I've heard and what I've watched, you almost kind of drive it like a short track. Once the track kind of gets away from the dirt side, it kind of blue grooves up and kind of gets hard, almost like concrete. So kind of almost drive it straight as possible. So I feel like the whole field is still going to be good. It's not like just the dirt guys are going to be good, but
So with all the different types of tracks, what is the track that you're looking at that's going to be, well, I got a good shot at this, and then what is the track you think you're going to have a little bit of a hard time with?
Well, I feel like we're going to do a lot of preparing for every racetrack, especially since I'm with Nitro. Myself, I'm really worried about super speedways, just, getting taken out, by another two cars that are getting into each other. It happens, the big one, right?
Yeah.
That's honestly what I'm worried about, because those two, Talladega, you have 3/4 of the schedules are mile and above, so, there's a lot of chances that, can go wrong. That's why, you just got to always put yourself in the best situation.
And is there anywhere on the schedule on the ARCA side that you've been to before, so you'll be familiar with?
Phoenix, that's going to be a good one for me. Okay. I feel like definitely I ran 2 Phoenix races there, ARCA. In the past 2 weeks, the sim time, I probably have now more experience than I've had, more prepared than I've showed up before. And I feel like I'm going to have a pretty good car there. So I feel like Phoenix is going to be a good one, honestly, for me. I feel like it fits my driving style, just, somewhat short tracky, but not really,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So you're getting sim time through Toyota?
Yes, sir, I am.
So how often do you get to do that?
Well, this week's obviously been a little hectic because of the clash and, the cup drivers and all that. So they've kind of, pushed some of the guys out for ARCA, obviously. And, but I've been on the sim now twice. Gonna hopefully, go more and do more and, do as much as I can, really. I'm asking every day because I think that's one of the biggest advantages that us drivers have.
Yeah, I would agree. But how? I don't know. I think I would struggle with the sim because it's. I kind of going back to like watching the Dodge deal or the Ram deal, right? Where those guys were in a simulator yesterday. That it's not reality, and I think some people adapt to it, some people don't. How does that fall for you?
Well, I can't really say too much, but it's pretty close to real life.
Yeah.
Now, when you went down to Daytona for the test, how much drafting did you do? Or
we made a 10-lap run. That's it.
So okay. you did 10 laps and that's about it. So what do you think about the draft at Daytona coming up?
I'll tell you what, I think I'm better in the draft than I was single car. My single car runs, I was kind of, excuse me, sorry. I was kind of
boring, right?
Almost inconsistent, for my first time, kind of trying to do the same thing every time, follow the line and all that. But I feel like once I got around cars, it kind of picked me up a lot. Not time-wise, just, driving. Like for myself, I feel like it gained more confidence in me. I saw the runs I would get, and I saw the speed the car had in the pack. That kind of changed a lot for me too. I was letting off probably. I think there was a time we looked and I was off the gas for 300-400 feet. I know it's not a lot, but honestly, it really is for Daytona, right?
Sure. Good.
So I feel like car-wise, I feel like it's going to be really good just because I feel like it was really good in the pack. Single car, we lacked a little bit, but, we do group qualifying there. So
yeah,
that's another thing that's, when are you ever going to be single car there? You're not.
Right. So now when you're talking about letting off the gas, we just had ALLI on here a while ago, and she was talking about how, trying not to get off the gas, or at least not full throttle, half throttle, or feather it and then dragging the brake. Did you get to do any of that? And it's got to be kind of difficult, I guess, until you get used to it.
Yeah. So what, it was six of us teammates drafting, right? So obviously the race, I'm not going to let off, right? I'll drag the brake instead, just because I'll close up to their bumper and I'm not going to be afraid in the race. There's no reason to go tear a car up or wreck a car at the test. So I wasn't going to, I can let off. And if I lose too much, I lose too much, right? The race is going to be a whole different ballgame. Everyone's going to be different, right? How the environment is, the cars, how they're drafting, it's not going to be the same at all. But, you know, I still think there's a point to going half throttle and letting off and not letting off at all, right? I feel like if there's a car in front of you that's, you know, you really don't want to, you know, start close to getting bump drafting with, then, you know, I think it'd be smart to just roll out of it just a teeny bit and lose that half a car. Just going back to making smart decisions, kind of being very observant of who you're around.
Sure, yeah. Well, don't let Big Willie Mullins. You know, he's a big boy, so don't wreck him because he like 3 times you and me.
I know, and I was, you know, it's all different now since I just turned 8. I turned 18 in April. I'm not off limits anymore.
Willie's good people, but he is a big boy.
Well, Jake, we appreciate you spending some time with us. Go down to Daytona, give them a good show down there.
Yeah.
And after Daytona, we'll try to get in touch with you again, get you back, and you tell us about your experience at Daytona.
Yes, sir. I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, we appreciate your time, and good luck to you. And I'm sorry
give Todd a hard time for us.
Yeah.
I will. I do every day.
Oh, he tells us.
Every day.
All right, man. We'll talk to you later, man. Appreciate
All right.
it.
Thank you guys for having me on.
Thank
See
you.
you, buddy.
See you. Have a good night.
Too funny.
I'm busy this year, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And good luck to those people going to Daytona.
Yeah. Wish it was us.
Say that again. 65,
But
70.
I mean, racing season will be starting here soon. I guess we got some cars stored in a couple of weeks, huh?
Starts tomorrow, I guess.
Yeah, tomorrow. They got the Clash tomorrow, and then what is it? Is it this? It's this week.
The Super Bowl is this weekend, so Daytona's next week.
No, I'm talking about the Icebreaker.
I think it's on Saturday, yeah.
The Icebreakers this coming week. That's going to be a big one.
Mhm.
And then a couple of weeks after that will be the first Cars Tour race at Southern National. So that's going to be
This is Southern National.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we got a banquet in a couple of weeks,
February
and
21st, yeah.
and then first race is April what?
The day of destruction's the 21st. I think our opening night is April 4th. There's an open practice the Saturday before that.
So we will be back full throttle again here in Fort Lum.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be fun.
It seems like,
Right around the corner,
yeah, it'll be here before you know
man.
it.
Sneaking up on us.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
You working this year? You announcing? Or?
They haven't fired me yet,
Oh,
so I'm just going to show up, and if they
if
have
they give
me,
you the mic,
yeah.
they give you the mic, huh?
I do the same thing every year.
So,
It hasn't failed me yet.
the boss man ain't said nothing. I mean, you know, he thinks he runs it, but
I haven't heard nothing from
no,
him. So I guess that's a good sign.
well, that would be. That
They
would,
let you guys come back this year? You have
they can't stop us from coming.
They ain't told you no yet?
Well, they ain't refused us coming in the gate yet.
That's
So
good.
I think we still got our keys to everything.
They
So.
gave you a new key.
Yeah.
They didn't give some people new keys.
I guess we're
I
blessed.
guess you're
I
doing
guess.
all right. But no, it's going to be a great year. But we got a lot of stories to keep an eye on, man. People moving around, and man, the limited division alone is just packed.
I'm hearing more and more.
Oh my gosh.
Because a couple guys I heard are not going to run the full season. They're just going to run partial seasons in limiteds. But that'd be fun to.
It is. I mean, the limited and the late model will be full classes. We got a lot of young guns, man, coming along that are doing well, making a big name for themselves. You know, it's exciting, man. It's an exciting time at Langley Speedway because there was 10 years ago or so, and I didn't know where the next group of kids were coming from, and it was like, man, if Danny and Greg and Mark got one foot out the door, we ain't got nobody here. You know, but it looks like we're super healthy now, especially Mark coming along and bringing in a bunch of kids and opening his program up, which was really good for the sport and Langley Speedway. And obviously it doesn't hurt when we got, you know, some guys winning the truck series this year, you know, Brendan and Ram and you know, we got Connor Hall with some, I don't know what races he's running, but it's supposed to be some truck races supposedly. So it's a good time to be associated with Langley Speedway.
Yeah.
Be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun this year.
I'll have to wait and see.
But
It is pretty neat to go to the big races and see some friends, right?
Oh yeah, drivers and crew members.
Mm-hmm.
so can't wait to get to the banquet. We got a lot of stuff we're responsible for at the banquet this year, taken care of.
I know. I keep forgetting. I mean, we still got our sponsorship to announce. I mean, I can't wait to finally get that over with and get it done, and we can start working on, you know, suits and getting with Todd and getting the factory canopies going.
We got to get that done. I mean, we got to get that done. So it's going to take a little while to get everything together.
Yeah, but
gotta get
we can't do anything until we get announced. So hopefully by the middle of the summer, we'll have the suit and the thing. I mean, it just takes time. I mean, I know for a suit, it's after everything's been designed and measured and everything, and click submit button is 6 weeks. So it's gonna take some time. But once we get it announced,
and make sure you take care of getting the checks and stuff together.
Yeah, I haven't done that. But I gotta work on that.
So, and Big and Fast Eddie's done made up a thing he's gonna give
Yeah.
out. So,
Thanks to everybody for stepping up on that. I don't know what Miles is going to do next year, so we'll let's try to support them, go like their page, thank them for what they do, and hopefully we can continue on.
That's right.
We don't know. All these sponsors got to get a return on investment, and I encourage anybody and everybody to like everybody else's sponsor, because they are all important, no matter how big or small they are.
Well, they're not only important to the drivers, but they're important to this racetrack. So,
Well, yeah, I mean, we all benefit from it.
so it's really cool. Anyway, well, that's our show for tonight. Next week, Gene Brinson is going to be with us. I'm going to schedule him back for next week.
Hope he gets better soon.
He's out with the flu, and so we'll try to get him back here next week. I got a couple irons in the fire. In a couple weeks, we're going to do another one of our young gun shows. We're going to bring some young guys in here and let them take over the show.
That's scary.
Oh no.
So I've already, I mean, I haven't,
Will we have a show afterwards? Or?
I don't know, but I'm looking
Cross
at
that bridge when we get there.
We'll see if our key works when we come back next week or the week after. If the locks have been changed, we might have went too far.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna work on that, get that taken care of. And of course, the week after the banquet, I like to get the people we had winners at the banquet. I like to get them on the show and have them part of
3 of them. So we're gonna have
Yeah.
a first and second. The third person, we got a little thing. It's just gonna be a random draw.
Yep.
So if you submitted, you're in.
Yep.
So
But if you win the first or the second one, you're not in for the third one. So,
no.
but that's
They will not. They will be taken out. So we need to make a list of so we can make a basket or whatever. And pull those and we'll pull them live on
At the banquet.
stage at the banquet.
We'll let Adam make the pool since
Oh, that's a lot of pressure.
we'll let Adam.
Yeah. So that way we can blame him if something don't go right.
That's right. So when they start throwing stuff, we can just stand there.
Yeah, well, talk to Adam. He's the mug that done it. He's the mofo that did it.
But if they're nice to me, I got a little cash money for them.
That's a good point. Pull mine, Adam. Take this piece of paper and put it in your hand, and when you pull it out, just
Take
keep
your
that one.
hand.
Don't laugh. Don't laugh. That could happen.
But with that, we talked about doing this a few times. I'd love to maybe us start going to a race shop and doing a race shop.
Yeah, we
tour.
need to do that. We need to set up.
So like maybe when their season starts. So if anybody out there, maybe we should put a post out there that would like to have us do a show from there one Tuesday, and we could just kind of do a tour and kind of do a show and a tour once the season starts or before the season, but when it gets warmer.
Yeah, I've got to do it when it gets warmer.
I
ain't
in
into
April if the season starts, let us know, man. Send us a message. I think we'd love to kind of go around to every shop, and it's not just doesn't have to be just big teams. Late models, limited late models. Everybody here is equally as important. UCAR, all the way up.
If anybody's got like a
Go
paint scheme to reveal, we could do like a
Absolutely.
paint scheme
Yeah, I mean,
or something. Pull the cover off a car.
Yeah.
yeah, we're here to be used and abused.
And also, I want to go over to Fast Eddie's and do a show from over there.
That should be our first.
Because
When it gets warm.
we like to eat, so we can go over there.
Well, we have to sample the food that he's going to give away.
That's right. We can't let people get sick.
Right. I mean,
It's the right thing to do.
absolutely. We'll take one for the team.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's our show for tonight. Please like and share our show, and we really appreciate you tuning in and watching. Even Mason Dunn. And so everybody, we'll see you again next week, next Tuesday night.